Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death.
Hello. So, Neal's done some research, and all 6 of these potions are mojitos.
They are all mojitos. That is what the witch has got hanging around in her warren, her den.
Grotto.
That's
a lot of grottos in this campaign.
Yeah,
or at least 2.
At least 2. That's a lot of grottos, you know. That's 2 more than most of my campaigns.
So, can I get some descriptions of the potions, or at least how many different types there are?
Yes. And let me just importing a new sound.
Ooh.
New sound. Nope, that's not what they're going to sound like.
That's not the sound?
Nope.
Caw-caw! Caw-caw! What do you need these sounds for? I can just make all these noises with the microphone.
I know. I don't even know why I bother with tabletop audio. We just have Ryan do stuff, all sound effects.
Mouth noises. Is that a mojito, or it just looks like straight rum?
Oh, maybe it's not a mojito. Hold on.
Mojito's like, isn't it lime juice and usually a light rum? It's just like dark rum.
Okay, so this is
mint.
This is obviously. Instead of using soda water, I used soda. So this is like halfway between a mojito and a rum and coke. It's light.
No, there's no Coke in it. Do you know?
Clearly, it's a mix between the two, right? It's white rum and sugar and soda water, but like flavored sugar soda water.
Is there any mint?
There's
or
mint
lime?
and lime. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But
instead of just using sugar and soda water, I have like cola, which is essentially sugar.
I think that makes it a rum and I think you've got a rum and coke.
But a rum and coke with lime and mint? I don't know. It's a new drink.
I mean, lime is part of a Cuba Libre. The rum and coke with lime.
Right.
The mint is the only addition.
Right, but the mint is what changes it from a rum and coke, or from a mojito to a rum and coke, or vice versa. It's fine. The selection of cocktails is all right. Yeah. Here we go. Your Tinker's Workshop sorting out magical items soundtrack.
Door is shut, and I am removing all impurities from my workshop. Anything that might interfere with divining. Probably got to put all the magic items into one corner. I take off my robe because it's got the Scarab of Protection pinned to it.
So with what would you like to start?
Well, the driftwood dangle and then potions, but I would like to know how many different kinds of potions there are. If this can be discerned, or are they opaque?
No, this can be discerned with a careful...
This is definitely some mojito music. I like that he uses the hammer as like a percussive instrument.
Oh.
Dink, dink, dink.
I really like this track. Tim, who does tabletop audio, very clever. Good stuff in here.
No. We ID'd the potions from Seltzer. These are potions from the Sea Witch and Sinus. I can't remember her name, but...
So let's do it. There are 4 unique potions, 2 of one kind, 2 of another kind, and then 1 of each of the remaining 2 kinds. Plus the
Okay.
Driftwood Amulet.
2, 2. Okay, and 2 unique. So I can't identify everything.
How would you like to start?
We'll start with the amulet. I'll probably do 2 properties of that, and then and then the 2 potions, like the 2 doubled up potions.
What is your chance to get a property?
Is it 10% per level? Is that what it is? Yeah, so 40%. Let's start with the amulet.
Would you like to roll it?
Who else would you? I guess like there's a chance that I botch it and you give me the wrong information. Is that how it works?
Is that a thing? That might be a thing. That sounds like a 2e thing. Identify.
If it were 5e, it'd be like, oh, just cuddle with it for a night, and your DM will tell you all of the secrets.
91 to 95 reveals nothing. 96 to 100 reveals a false reading.
So should you do this in secret? Or are we just going to trust me to roleplay it properly?
This is what we're going to do. I think the math on this works out. You're going to roll a D100. I'm going to roll a D100. We're going to add it together, but drop the hundreds place. And that should still give us an average number, like a roll from 1 to 100.
Add it together, but
drop the... If you roll 2d20s and you just look at the ones place, it should still be a random number from 1 to 10 with an equal distribution of all of them.
Yeah.
If you only look at the ones
so
place.
basically, I'm rolling a d10 and you're rolling a d10?
Yeah, that's actually a better way of doing it. Okay, I'll roll the tens place, you roll the ones place, and that way you're...
I can still know if I roll a 6 through 10. Let's see. I mean, it's interesting. We can mess with this, but I still feel like that this is gonna get me different information.
It should just obfuscate what you're rolling, but still give you the power of determining the roll.
Sure. Yeah.
No, you roll me a full D100, I'll roll a full D100. We'll just look at the tens and ones place and ignore the hundreds place.
I don't think this works.
You don't think this works?
I mean, so I get a 34. What are we looking at here?
Does this not work?
I don't know what we're doing.
No, maybe I should just roll this in secret. Okay.
I still don't even know the formula. But I passed! Like, what would I'm ignoring the... Are we adding it together?
So, yeah, if you roll a
That doesn't
34
work.
and I roll a 50, then it's an 84 total.
Then how the heck... Then when am I ever going to get below a 40?
Well, because if you roll like an 80 and I roll an 80, then it becomes a 60. Not 160. You know, or if you roll an 80 and I roll a 30, our answer is 10. I'm just concerned that normally when you add things together in a situation like this, you get like a bell curve in the middle, and we want we want no curve. But I think if you drop the hundreds place, then you lose the curve and it flattens out again. I think I've done the math with
I'd
the
have
20s
to look at
and
it,
20s.
but I think you should just roll in secret.
Sure. All right. The first property you get off of this Driftwood Sea Glass Amulet is one of water breathing.
Oh, lovely. Do I get any more of that? Like, is it permanent? Like, if you put it on, you can breathe underwater as long as you're wearing it?
Yep.
What?
Yeah, that is correct.
I will check and see if it has any more properties. Will I know if I fail versus if it doesn't have any? I think I have to succeed to know that there's no more properties, right? Succeed again. Yes. All right, I will attempt another one on this.
40% chance?
Yeah.
You cannot. You failed the check.
Okay. And then I have 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
So I will do the 2 double potions.
Okay. Here's one of the 2 double potions. Would you fail, unfortunately? 40%, right?
Yeah.
And the second one, you pass and are 2 potions of water breathing.
All right.
The dice were not in your favor, or were in your favor? I don't know. You've identified all the water breathing stuff for certain.
Mm-hmm. Water breathing. 2 potion. Let's see, 1. Okay, cool. If I put the sea glass dangle on, does anything happen? Like, do I and like I can't breathe air, or if I'm totally fine to just wear it?
It's totally fine. I don't think it necessarily blends with Devon's aesthetic.
Why the hell not?
Well, I mean,
Blends with my aesthetic. Well, we'll see what chat and our artists have to say. I don't trust your fashion taste, Neal.
what? How can you not trust my fashion taste?
I think. Are you muted? Were you muted the whole time?
I don't know how long I'm muted. As long as we've been on the map overlay, that could have been 5 seconds or an hour, and I have no idea.
So does they don't know?
It's fine.
It's fine. They don't need to know. These are my wizardly secrets.
Yeah, and I don't say anything of importance anyway. You only really need to listen to Ryan.
Yeah. Okay. So I am down 8 con, but I'm a healthy young lad, so I'm still functional. Mm-hmm. I'm as robust as one Georg, even after casting an identify spell.
Wow. Quite robust.
If I could boost my con by 2, I could cast 2 identifies in a row, couldn't I?
Yes. Because you could do the prep for 1 and then double cast.
Yeah. Or if I recover for 2 hours, could I rest for 2 hours and then identify the other 2 potions?
I suppose.
Right?
I don't know why not. Your con would go back up. Hell, you could even do it right now and just be knocked out for 24 hours.
That's a waste of time, because then you have to wait 24 hours to regain consciousness.
Yeah.
But if I rest for 2 hours, get myself up to 9 con, then I can cast another identify. And I did tell the guard or whatever to not disturb me for the day.
Mm-hmm. Is that the plan?
Oh, yeah. Let's string together a couple identifies.
All right.
I will, I'll catch my breath. I'll take a snack break. I had already prepped everything in here, so it should be good to go, but I'll take some of that time to retidy things up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, it costs 3 MP to cast that first identify. Cool.
All right, let's do it.
And it really is just the last 2 potions, I believe. Let me take a look at...
You could retry... Oh, can you not retry the other ones until you level?
Until you level up. Okay. Yeah. Identify will reveal cursed items, right? So there is a possibility that Atropos and I failed at making those potions of healing, and they're really instant death potions.
Yeah.
But...
All right, shall I roll for the 2 unknowns?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, the first one is unknown. 40% chance is not great. The second one is a potion of polymorph self.
Ooh.
Not bad.
Tough.
You got 3 out of 5 identifies.
Yeah, and I have 2 more properties I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I failed on... I guess I haven't identified the scarab. I just learned what it was based on
legend lore.
Legend lore, which I feel like told me all that I need to know about it. I could look for more properties of water breathing. That's not really worth it. More properties of polymorph self. That's really not worth it. I don't know. I don't really have anything to do with it.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like there's anything to do with it.
So I will spend it on potions and take this opportunity to metagame a little bit and read wikis on potions and remind myself how long they last and all that.
Nice.
I think the default is 2
D6 turns?
I think it's 2d4 turns.
Oh.
2d4 plus 2 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will, so this has been 8 hours, this has been 10 hours, and then I will need to recover for like 14. So it's basically 24 hours.
Huh.
It'll be like late next morning by the time that I'm ready to go. Potions. Oh. Yeah.
All right.
So, does anything happen, or am I totally undisturbed and I go to sleep? And
You're undisturbed. Alexander, your door guard, keeps everyone at bay, and all good. Yep. Yep. Now what?
I was thinking whether the polymorphing would be useful for the Medusa, but I don't think you get the senses from the new form. I don't think I could turn into some creature with tremor sense and be able to fight the Medusa without looking at it.
You know of anything with tremor sense that you could become?
No, but I don't think it works anyways. I'm thinking like a blind creature that's, good sense of smell. Something with echolocation. But...
Oh.
Hello. Found the potion duration link in Purple Worm, but shit, there we go. Unless otherwise stated, D4 plus 4 turns is standard potion duration.
Okay. D4 plus 4 turns?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
that's good.
Makes sense.
50 to 150 to 80 minutes? Fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I rest up. We'll skip to the next day.
Okay, I will
I should be able to regain my MP as well, right? Rest is rest. I can...
Rest is rest. Yeah, you won't get study for the day.
Yeah. But I get good rest.
I don't know. You are
identifying.
You are
sounds
identifying.
like...
That seems like studying to me. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Get full.
4d13 d2. Is that how it is? Think so?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is more than enough. Right. I cast 3 first level spells. So I was only down 9.
Right.
Oh, and I needed to send the neighborhood kids to go fetch me some snakes.
Right.
I meant to do that yesterday, but I guess I can catch up today.
So, off we go. Or off you go grab...
Sorry about your ears.
Okay. You go to get some children to bring Atropos a snake, and the kids are on it. They love the grab the snake for Atropos game.
What do I reward children with?
Candy.
Candy?
Saw a yellow snake just yesterday or the day before walking around. I have no idea what it was. But it was yellow on top, white on bottom, or pale on bottom. It was just cruising across the sidewalk. Very rare to see in Boulder.
Okay. Do the kids catch any snakes?
The children will, of course, catch you a snake. Ooh, this might be it. Did we see a plains black-headed snake? Oh, might have been it.
Did the kids fetch me a plains black-headed snake?
They do. Yes, they will catch you a plains black-headed snake, a Tantila. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Snake.
Tantila nigriceps.
Nigriceps? Something like that.
It's a dangerous word.
Yeah.
I don't think they're venomous, are they?
No, they're just little snaky snakes. Or maybe
they are venomous.
Oh, it could have been a western.
Not considered dangerous to humans, but they do have venom.
It also could have been a western yellow-bellied racer.
Who names these things?
Oh. But I do enjoy looking at pictures of snakes. Not necessarily handling the snakes, but observing them from a great distance. I know you're a little bit more hands-on when it comes to the serpents.
I'm really not. My dad would catch snakes, but I was always a little bit skittish around that kind of
sensible.
Kind of thing. Sensible, yeah.
Listening to your instincts that tell you not to go grab the serpents.
Unless it's a Medusa.
Right. Anywho. The kids will bring you a snake. It'll probably take them half a day or so to do it. So they'll have stuff to do in the meantime.
Oh, I'd like to go find Akitos and ask him, commission him to build me a cockatrice pen.
A cockatrice pet? It's just like a coop for a chicken, right?
Yes, but a dangerous chicken that can turn you to stone.
Do you want it to have a door it can get out of, or should it be like a reach down into it and pick it up sort of thing?
I don't ever want it getting out.
Got it.
But there needs to be like a way in, right? Like a locked gate or something. A cage, basically.
I can make a structure, roof with a hatch, and you have to open the hatch to get out, and the hatch can be locked from the top, and that way nothing inside can ever escape, unless it can break the walls.
Yeah.
But your chicken can't do that, can it?
I don't think so. But like bars, maybe, so you can look in. But then what if a kid sticks their finger in and gets turned to stone? That could be a problem.
Is it your responsibility to tend to other people's children?
No, I suppose not. Maybe a cage within a cage. Does this make sense? So that there's a barrier, so that even if you stick your hand in, you can't reach the inner cage, and the chicken can't peck you to stone.
A double depth cage?
Cage within a cage. Yeah.
Of course, my liege.
I guess we could just do a cage and like a barrier around it.
Cage with a fence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll get on it.
How's the Quanat coming along?
Splendid. The logs have been hewn properly. The excavation is going well. There's the stone, the what do you call it? Bedrock here, upon which the creek flows, is nice and solid, yet not too difficult to work through. The soil just above it is loose enough for the water flow. I think we can make quite an easy Quanat here, probably more easy than I had initially anticipated. Work will be done more sooner than I had hoped.
Keep up the good work, Akitos.
Sir.
Mumbling under his breath. All right.
He was just fumbling over the proper honorifics in form of address for you. But problem. Alexander's hanging around, waiting for you to give him an order or to head out with him or whatever it is.
He's probably getting irritated. I'm just like ignoring him, walking around, going about my business.
Well, he did just see the greatest warrior in the land get turned to stone. So he's a little bit more... Like, he knows when you guys go out, it's going to be the fight of his life and he might die. So he's taking a moment to savor his last moments on Earth.
Yeah. So how the heck can you fight a Medusa? I guess you just blindfold yourself and take -4 to hit and you get yourself screwed. I guess you sneak up on it and don't look at her. And if she comes for you, you run. Faster Medusas. Human speed? Slithering has to be slower than human, right?
Yeah, totally. It has to be. There's no other way, right? Does she slither? Does she have feet? Is she a serpent with serpent hair, or is she a person with toes? Does it matter?
I don't know.
Well, what to?
We'll wait for the snake to show up and get myself some blessed leather.
Yep. By the midday or so, the kids will come back with the snake. You can give it to Aki. That goes to what's his
Platos.
face? Platos.
Platos, I have an offering for you.
More blessed leather.
Yes, please.
And he will quickly gobble up, more quickly than the last time, just like unhinge his jaw and consume this snake that you put into his pen, like whole.
Great.
Yeah. You said it takes probably a couple days for him to pass the leather.
It does?
It probably takes at least a day for him to pass the snake, maybe a few. During that time, you will notice Platos grows fairly sizably.
Really?
I think we'd mentioned him being like 3.5, 4 feet long now, but by the time he's done devouring this snake, with the bloodshine nearby and the little house that he's built, he's grown out to be like a full 6.5, almost 7 feet now.
Nice.
Turning into quite the serpent.
Has he been hanging out near the blood shrine?
I mean, the blood shrine's right next to his house, right? So,
yeah, like, is he like out there drinking blood or bathing around in it?
No, but you can sometimes see him hanging out in one of his windows, gazing upon the blood shrine.
Is the blood becoming a problem?
No.
Like, it's not flowing. I don't think there's a drainage for it, right? I think it's just going into a shield.
Leaks out of the mask, drips
Yeah,
down
is it
to
just
the
like
shield.
a slow drip? Like, does it just look like the mask is crying blood and there's just a drip, drip,
Yep.
drip?
But somehow the shield never seems to overflow.
Plato's been drinking the blood if it gets too high.
You've been busy. You've been identifying shit.
Yeah. Is too much blood ever a problem?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well. Yeah, I think I while away the days. Let's see. I'll think about that vermin spell. And if a more powerful version could be devised to handle cockatrice.
Protection from vermin?
Yeah, let me see. It's in my infinite scroll. So probably one of these days I'll use a read magic to revisit it.
Okay.
I will not learn it because I only have one more first level spell, but I will like read it and study it and think about making a more powerful version.
So protection from vermin could pretty easily be turned into protection from poultry. However, you'll notice the first level version of the spell says it affects things less than 1 hit die, and they've got to be like non-intelligent. So if you were to bump it up to make a more powerful version, you could probably create a spell that would target specifically, or that would encompass cockatrice. Cockatrices? Cockatrices?
Yeah. I think a version that scales with level might be useful. So like a 1 hit die per level ward, like keeps out non-intelligent monsters of 1 hit die per level. That may be more like a 3rd level spell. Let me see if there's any frames of reference here. I don't know if I actually want to make it. This is what Devon is researching. I don't have any money for spell research or really a library, so this may just be more daydreaming.
Protection from vermin is spells and magic.
Let's see. Efficacious monster ward is a 3rd level. Prevents monsters of 2 or fewer hit die from entering the area. That's all monsters, doesn't limit intelligence. I hate to make a spell that's so specific it only helps me in this one situation.
Right.
Like the more interesting spells to research are ones that are designed to solve a particular problem but could then be applied later or by other characters or something. I think cockatrice are like 5 or 6 hit die. So I don't know if a 2nd level spell is even going to... Here's a random protection from amorphs spell.
Yeah,
that's a 3rd level spell that doesn't even limit based on hit die. It's just like
oozes and
any amorphous
jellies.
ooze is it protects just the caster. Okay.
Right. So we could definitely get something that would be a 3rd level spell that if we can do protection from amorphs, we could do protection from, I don't know what you would want this to be, poultry creatures? There's a protection from petrification, isn't there? No, there's protection from paralysis. There's no protection from petrification. Protection from evil 10-foot radius might be what you're actually looking for.
Excuse me? I thought you nerfed that spell out of existence.
How so?
I'm still salty about Demon's Run.
Oh, how did it go poorly in Demon's Run?
It basically didn't affect demons.
As they weren't extra planar, or they weren't evil or something?
They were, but you just like had them run straight up to the protected creature and like I don't know.
And just like
they obeyed the rule. They obeyed the letter of the spell. They did not obey the spirit of the spell. Like it's got really like vague things like evil creatures recoiling. Prevents bodily contact. Yeah, anyways,
so we could do protection from evil. That seems like it would work. Cockatrices are pretty evil creatures, at least in this context.
Let's see. That's a priest spell, though, isn't it?
Protection from evil, 10-foot radius?
Is it? Let me see. Might be both.
Page 195.
I'm pretty sure
wizard
it's
spells.
really. Yep, here we go. Someone's swarm specifically calls out the protection from evil keeps the swarm at bay.
Wizard, the cleric version of protection from evil is 4th level. What? That wizards get better protection from evil spells than...
Well, cleric's level faster.
Yeah,
not that much faster.
Not that much faster. So do you want to learn? Do you want to create?
Well, I don't have
one?
3rd level spells yet.
Okay.
But it does seem. I mean, it seems like protection from evil is more or less.
That seems like what you're looking for.
What I'm looking for.
That won't help you against a Medusa anyway, because you have to close with it, right?
I would have to close with the Medusa.
Suppose you don't.
Why would I ever close with the Medusa? You always approach Medusa unclothed, right?
Well, what to?
Well, I think about these things, and it seems like I'm not powerful enough to devise anything, and I don't have the resources, but it's interesting to think about. I think once I have my armor cast, we will go out and do some field research.
Okay.
So how many days before Platos?
Days for him to pass the...
Anything else interesting happen in that time? Is there a cockatrice cage yet? How many times have I had to bludgeon the bagged creature?
None, because Alexander is keeping a close eye on it. He's a little wary of the beast, and every time it twitches, he kicks it. He does express concern to you that he hasn't seen the creature eat nor drink, and he constantly beats it, and it keeps coming back up, and it doesn't seem to be stopped. And this is clearly some sort of monstrosity from hell because it's not dying.
It is a monstrosity from hell.
You know,
bark, 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 bark. I thought he was about to express concern that it was going to die if he kept beating it and it didn't eat.
No, it's not dying, and he expected it to. He was kind of like hoping that your instructions would give him wiggle room to maybe end its life, and it keeps not dying.
Well, the cage isn't ready yet?
The cage is ready. The first draft of the cage is pretty straightforward. We just got a bunch of sticks that go into the ground, and then we put a sheet of like baked rock over it, a mud sheet of baked rock. So it's not a huge cage, but it'll hold the creature, and it shouldn't be able to squeeze between the bars.
Okay. Well, while it is unconscious, I will dump the chicken sack into the cage and deposit this unconscious cockatrice into the cage, shut it, and lock it.
All right. It is locked. A superior cage is being constructed, a more in-depth one. But this is the...
Now, Akitos, be careful not to let the creature touch you. If in doubt, beat it with a stick before you have to do any work. And pray to Platos if you need some help. And separately, I'll tell Platos that the cockatrice is being housed next door to him, You're in charge while I'm away. I'm
Do my
always
best.
in charge. No, this is Platos.
Two Platos. Got it.
Yeah. I'm getting quite the wizard's lair going, aren't I? Just naturally, as you level as a wizard, you start to accumulate these curiosities and you stockpile them, and before you know it, you've got a blood fountain and a cockatrice in a cage and
If you're a good wizard who keeps things on hand.
A good wizard? Is Devon a good wizard?
Not like
gray.
morally good, but like skillful.
An effective wizard?
Effective, yes.
Yes. My fallen water spirit. Corrupted water spirit.
Yeah.
All right. And what is this, like 5 days later? I will abruptly approach Alexander. Say, all right, I think it's time for some field work. We should track down this. Have we called it a Medusa? What have we called the snake?
Track down this. Yeah, you legend lord her, so you know the name for this one is Medusa.
We should track down this Medusa and see where she resides, what she's up to.
Well, I know the cave all too well.
Oh, you've been there. Great.
I went with Mr. Remus. I went with Remus.
All right, I'm gonna leave behind most of my potions. I'll take the gaseous form and the potions of healing, but the water breathing, the polymorph self, and the unidentified potions can stay at home. I will have my amulet of water breathing if I need it. Not on because it doesn't match my fashion.
Right. Be a faux pas to be seen wearing. I mean, you're not like a WoW character who's going to run around with mismatched loot here.
It looks like I have not properly done my armor spell, so let's do that. So if I click on... Oh, it's not here. Spells, armor, Jason. All good, except, it is actually abjuration, isn't it? Oh no, it's conjuring summoning. Alright, I will recast my armor spell. Does that improve my touch AC?
Armor? Yes.
Let's see, it creates a magical field of force that serves as if it were scale mail. If it were scale mail, it wouldn't help with touch AC, or would it? Like 2E, I think by the books.
Armor.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Does it say it serves? I mean, gives AC as if it were scale mail.
Magical field of force that serves as if it were scale mail.
It's not cumulative. Does not hinder movement. Adds no weight or encumbrance. Nor does it prevent spell casting. Armor merely grants an AC 14. The wearer still suffers full damage from attacks.
It's a field of force. I feel like it should. I think 2E by the books, armor does work for touch AC. Kind of. Right? Like a lot of touch spells are like you need to overcome the AC. And like a lot of the wrestling rules are like you need to overcome AC.
Let me just look up the section on spells and touch attacks because I'm entirely sure. Once the casting has begun, the character must stand still, not riding. During the round in which the spell is cast, you not move to dodge attacks. No AC benefit Dex is gained while casting spells. Front lines of battle.
So in PHB, touch spells in combat, unwilling targets, the spellcaster must make a successful attack roll for the spell to have any effect. The wizard or priest calculates his hit number normally, according to the intended victim's armor class and other protections.
Oh.
The DM can modify the roll if the victim is unprepared or unaware.
Do you have a page number for that?
I'm looking at Purple Worm. I don't know. I think it's in combat, but I'm not sure.
I thought there was something saying touch attacks didn't worry about me.
Oh, this is interesting. Even for willing targets, if the recipient of the spell attempts to do anything besides waiting for the spell to take effect, an attack roll against AC 10 must be made. So if you are getting healed by your cleric, and while you are fighting, rules as written, the cleric needs to make an attack roll against AC 10.
Oh.
However, no AC modifiers for dexterity are applied since the target is not trying to avoid the spell. Interesting.
But it's AC 10, you don't have to worry about their armor when you're targeting a willing person?
It says dexterity. It doesn't even mention armor. But I just thought it was interesting that you need to make an attack roll against active but willing targets.
Mm-hmm. Other protection. Modify the roll.
Well,
Section. Touch attacks.
maybe later, or like maybe an optional rule in combat and tactics or something.
Yeah, let me just check the DMG. During touch spells in combat, wizard or priest calculates the stat code normally according to the intent armor class and other protections. Exact same text as the player's there's
Yeah.
physical AC from
We've kind of talked about this, about how it's dumb that like a fighter in plate mail is harder to touch than a. But I mean, it makes sense
like
if
you got to touch the skin. Maybe
it makes sense. Yeah, if you got to touch the skin, but then it seems like leather armor should be just as effective as plate mail,
right?
Or even just like if you're wearing a latex suit, that's just as if that's
like
perfect.
Why
like,
does a shirt not count?
Yeah,
or count as touching a person, but like
yeah. I think this was just a house rule of ours that
a sensible house rule.
Yeah.
Attack roll. Generally, the caster can execute a touch attack or an attack roll as soon as he finishes the spell, or he can delay until the end of the current round, then make his attack. Doesn't attempt to discharge the spell in the round in which it was cast is wasted unless the spell has a duration of more than one round. For example, cause light wounds must be used in the same round in which it is cast, but since chill touch lasts for a minimum of 4 rounds, because caster doesn't have to use it or lose it. Number of spells don't require the caster to actually injure the target or breach the victim's armor. Even a glancing touch will be sufficient to discharge the spell's effect on the target. Spells of this type ignore the portion of the victim's armor class that is derived from wearing armor. In other words, only dexterity-based and magical attack.
So that's where is this? Is this in
Spells and Magic, page
spells and
120.
Magic?
Which spells qualify as spells that bypass armor? Basically, this is a judgment call for the DM.
Yeah. Okay. But this is already in one of the extra books, one of the player's options, right?
In order to gain the advantage, the spell description should clearly imply the victim would take the effect even if struck on the breastplate instead of requiring the caster's hand to touch exposed skin.
So something like Shocking Grasp that even has a bonus versus metal armor.
Does it emulate a normal weapon? If it does, then it requires a normal attack roll, but if it affects the victim's life force or achieves its effect from simple contact, armor is ignored.
So Chill Touch.
Chill Touch, Vampiric Touch, Energy Drain, various cause wounds. Victim's armor does not help from these. Spells that change or alter their status, such as imprisonment, plane shift, or dispel, evil also ignore armor. Second category that affects a victim through their armor includes spells that produce energy or forces against which armor is useless, like Shocking Grasp, Chromatic Orb, Watery Double, Produce Flame, Fire Seeds, Crystal Brittle. Oh, there's actually a list of armor breaching spells. Very short list.
What is it?
A very short list of armor observing spells. For wizards, it's Chill Touch, Chromatic Orb, Shocking Grasp for first level, Ghoul Touch for second, Pain Touch and Vampiric Touch and Watery Double for third, Fire Aura for fourth, Mummy Rot for fifth, then some of the crap. Some of these are from the Complete Wizard's Handbook, so we don't have them on hand. Okay. What was the context of this? Because I've already forgotten.
I want to know if my armor spell affected my touch AC.
Contextually, I think it is magical armor. So no matter whether it is, I think it will always affect touch AC. Yes. Yeah. It's not physical armor that sits on you. It is magic force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's a force field that serves as if it were scale mail, but that doesn't mean it sits on you like scale mail. It feels like it's entirely.
Oh, it serves as if it were scale mail. Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't fit on you like scale mail would.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Alexander, lead the way.
Alexander will lead the way. You will head south to the forest in which you were before.
All right, so I bring rations, and day one will get us 2 squares away. So we'll get us we'll travel through the oasis just because it's nice.
Yeah, you can stop there, refill your water skins.
And this way.
You will meet a group of people at the oasis, actually. You don't have to interact with them, but there are some NPCs lying around here.
If they say anything, we'll respond. I don't know. Devon is proud and boastful. Will boldly claim that they're on their way to defeat the Medusa, purge a great evil from this land.
It is a husband and wife team. They've got a pack of mules with them, or a group of mules with packs on them, and they've set up a little bit of a tea stand. There's not much infrastructure with this tea stand. It's really just piled sand that's boiling water.
Are they selling
with
tea?
Leaves in it. Mm-hmm. It looks like they're traveling through the area selling tea to various people.
What is it, copper for tea?
Yeah, a couple copper for tea. They tell you that they come from the far northwest, that they traveled here on a boat to bypass the swamp. They're here to see if there's people in this area to sell their wares to. This is maybe too spooky music for a nice tea interaction.
I will tell them Necrot is but a half day's journey northwest of here. It is a small village, but growing quickly, and perhaps a good place to set up a market.
They will head that direction. They hadn't heard of Necrot yet. They had just arrived a couple days ago, seen a giant, were in awe of the giant, and ask if there's anything else they should be aware of in the area, or any other places they should go.
No. Necrot's the finest city in the land. What was I thinking? What are you laughing at?
Necrot's the finest city in the land.
I mean, there's not much competition, let's be honest. I was thinking a thing, but I forgot it. Oh, I was going to complain about the economy again. I take a moment to look at these coins that I have and see what's on them or how they were minted.
The coins have faces of deities upon them. No human's face resides upon them. And how were they minted?
I don't know, like where they came from. Usually coins would have come, like a kingdom mints them or something.
Mm-hmm. Certainly. These coins are all quite old. None of them are even remotely new. And they're all many hundreds of years old. Seem to stem from some theoretical group that held power once, a couple hundred years back. Not in this area of the island, but across.
Does our memory not extend back a couple hundred years? Like, that's easily within the realm of...
Yeah. But this is what has been passed down by word of mouth. You guys were on the far, beyond the border of their reaches. Mm-hmm. So you kind of absorbed the coins in the same way that the Inca would use coinage, like as for trading with border people, even though you didn't really have much use of it on your own. Everyone here is sort of self-sufficient in a non-market economy. And then there's this more advanced market economy further to the northwest that you've imported their means of trade, but haven't fully adopted it into your own. If that makes sense.
All right, then.
Yeah, a small empire. They showed up for a while, made some coins, did some shit, fell apart. Now they're gone.
Okay, then. Well, we rest for the night.
Easy peasy.
Continue on the next day.
Next day is encounterless. Gonna move yourself a few hexes.
So there's 10. And then I can move through 2 squares of planes.
We're getting close. Should just be another day away. The southeast. How are you going to defeat her?
I don't know yet. Maybe collapse or cave in?
He swallows hard. The idea that you might not know how to defeat him is... Okay. Here. One more day of movement?
Yeah.
Looks like you will pass some mild creatures that aren't really worth your time. That night, before you wake up, you'll hear some wolves, but they won't come any closer to your campsite. And as you travel through the day, you see a pair of stags fighting each other, but they will break off as you guys approach.
Okay, I don't know exactly where we're going, so I'm letting him lead the way from here.
He will lead you here, into the woods.
All right.
You'll travel well within the confines of this light forest, approaching the ocean, but not quite getting there. You'll see it in the distance. You'll never quite be able to hear it, but you'll turn inward through the woods until you start coming across a rocky, I don't quite want to call it a plain, but an area of the forest where the rock underneath the soil starts to jut out more and more until you come across a statue of a deer grazing, as if it were like pulling its head up from having grazed, but never quite making it all the way up, and turned to a perfect replication of stone.
I've seen these statues before when I was traveling through these lands.
This is when Alexander will tell you he's close, and you'll move closer.
Remember to avert your eyes. Do not look at her. In fact, if we see her, we should probably just run. Have you seen her cave with your own eyes?
Yes. We made it to inside? The cave. Oh, I didn't. I was the outside guard. But the others went in, and it went too quiet. And I peered in, and I could see my men. Statues. Silhouettes. We'll get a little closer.
Yeah, I would like to. Can you take me to the cave, but not directly? Let's try and circle behind it.
Yeah, he'll head south, east a little bit more, so you get a little closer to the ocean, the point where you can smell the salt air. Circle around what he hopes is the cave, and after a long day of sort of hiking and searching, you come across from the backside of the cave, walking over just earth until it begins to slope downward, and into view springs the statues. You can see maybe a half dozen warriors here.
On the backside of the cave, or did he mess up and brought us?
No, out in front of the cave. Like you're coming from the backside and looking down a bit of a hill into what appears to be a menagerie of statues. And Alexander tells you that these were in the cave when I saw them. They've clearly been moved outside by now. And they're posed in ways, like they're clearly frozen in the way that they were originally formed, but they've been arranged to make it seem like the statues are fighting each other. Like two of the people are hunting animals, and then four of the people are fighting each other, like in a 2-on-2 sort of battle. One person's on the ground trying to shield themselves. Another person has a spear raised, ready to strike.
Yeah. None of them passed their saving throws?
If they did, they wouldn't have been turned to stone.
Yeah. It's only halfway through the day, right? So the sun is up, peeking through the leaves. I tell Alexander to be quiet, and we search the backside of this cave. I want to see if there's any secret entrances or back entrances to the cave. I don't have any magic that I use here. So I think I'm just using my eyes.
Okay, so just using your eyes to search the area for another entrance.
Like a back entrance, an exit. Would you like a perception check or rolling
I would
secret?
love a perception check.
And I will, Alexander is maybe keeping watch while I'm looking around, or maybe he's looking around with me. I'm a pretty hands-off manager, so he's kind of left to his own judgment.
Yep. You will not find an exit to the cave with a 27.
Well, it seems like there's just the one entrance.
Just the one.
And I will go to the top of the cave, readying an action to avert my eyes from any snake women. I will peer over the edge. About how far down is it? Like from the top of the cave to the ground level?
It's more of like a sloping thing, and then there's like a cutaway in the middle of it.
Okay.
Cave entrance. It looks man-made, snake Medusa-made.
It's like so she tunneled into this hill?
Like she's tunneled into the hill. It's not a natural cave. So the entrance where she's tunneled is maybe 7 or 8 foot of a drop at most, depending on the way that you approach it. But the rest of it is just a gentle slope down.
Okay.
I think this is probably the right spot for us to take our next break at.
Yeah,
and
a cliffhanger to drop on us.
Yeah, we got what, an hour and a half still, ish.
Sure. Yeah, I meant there's no like. And then you see movement from the cave, and we go. We'll figure it out after this.
No movement
Word
yet.
from our sponsors. No sponsors yet either.
No sponsors yet. Nope. A word from whoever pays Twitch to put advertising on Twitch. That I really don't care about, and I don't endorse their products in any way, shape, or form. So we'll see you guys on the other side of the break. Bye-bye.